Greetings, Commanders. It's Jordan, back with another episode of EVE Online. Today we're going to continue off where I said we were going to try the entrepreneur training mission. And while we're on our way to transport goods, we will talk about some interesting news that came up. Did I do it? There we go. Gas basket. I don't even know if I need that. Alright. There's no, like, indication, it's just that. Alright. So, I happened to see that CCP is working on a new project for EVE Online, blockchain based. They didn't say what blockchain, but it's gonna be a new game set in the EVE universe. So I know some people are skeptical of it. I've been intrigued by blockchain games for the longest time. Sorry, not really the longest time, but ways to where you can play games and actually like make some of a living off it ever since Sword Art Online Season 2 had brought up the idea that some of the best players were making a living off of playing games. Oh, jeez. That's a nice paint job.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
But I don't know. Let's see. Well, let's see what this next mission is real quick. Sounds good. Acquire these goods. Black box. And the salvage module I gave you to retrieve the box. And kill them. Ooh, adventure. Which means... Oh, I have to accept it. Oh. Okay, so... we head back. But I'd like to think that with EVE Online's history, that was my bedtime alarm, but that's only for the weekdays, but if I ever actually want to get enough sleep. But who knows? But I'd like to think that EVE Online has potential. It's a different game. My main thing is that people are skeptical of it because the current one that's out don't really hold a value. My view from it is if they can find a way to actually keep it a sustained value, then it actually is potentially worth it. Well, the question is like, well, how can they have a coin that has actual value? And my main thing on this was mining. If you did, it's like you could do mining is always a big thing, but what it ended up being is much like kind of a boomer thing,
Permission requested.
have gold as kind of a currency, gold as
Docking
a
request accepted.
as the token, but it's like you mine the gold as an ore, and you can process it and have it converted or minted, I guess, into the token. There's a small fee that can help with the game. The fee would like help pay people, pay the workers, and somewhat maybe a small bonus. You could also use it as marketing to other, or use it for competitions, use it for content creators, stuff like that. I think I have high hopes for the future, but for now it's hard to tell. Like as other people say, prior games do not necessarily mean that it's going to be a good game. Oh crap, hold on a second. I actually didn't. Oh yeah, I'll find the black box. Okay. Going back to jump.
Warp drive active.
Set destination. But the main aspect is using gold. If you have gold in the game, because it's also used in circuits, there's a demand for it to not mint it and to put it into the market to build ships, components, whatever needs electricity. So the miners are given a choice: do they take the gold and sell it on the market to build, or should they mint it? But so that kind of gives you your demand. It's a rough outline, but I'd like to think it's something that could be intriguing, since most of it's like you have a set amount. You don't have any way of actually, most games just, they don't have like an outside demand for it, is my thing. It's the struggle I think they face, is why they have to burn it to keep the value up. At least with this, you don't have to. It's like they can't actually burn it, but they can. They get a small fee. They can essentially end up flooding the market. But I mean, if they take like a 5-10% cut, it'd take them a while. Players would keep most of it. Players need it to build ships, components. So because there's a need for it outside of the token, there is always a value. But it's definitely something that I'm wondering how do they come up with ideas for the markets. But my other issue is, because essentially now you're actually dealing with a kind of a forex, or like a currency flip, currency exchange. It's hard to tell what's a valid, or not what's valid. With dealing in kind of a foreign exchange, you might have to deal with certain laws. Where are we going? Alright. But you would have kind of an in-game wallet, like in-game assets inventory, but then like your tokens would be the gold. You could somehow have an NFT market to where Where's... Oh, there's the gate. So it's like, well, how do you... For NFTs, I mean, you could have the ships to be transferred out if you wanted to. If you want to make money. Ooh, we got an enemy. Can I lock it? Thousand meters. Optimal range is 5,000. Can I? There we go. Let's click on the afterburner. I just think that, like I was saying, the potential for some of these games, jeez. The potential for crypto games is really hopeful, but I don't know how well some games can make it. But with CCP's prior experience in this game, having a decent economy, I'd like to think that they can get a better experience, or can give a better experience for it. I don't even think scrap metal was useful. I can't remember. I don't think so, but not too useful. Be closer. Oh. Let's set the default to 45. That might be better. But you would definitely need to find a way, like the salvager, you would have ships blown apart. There's just a lot of stuff to making a successful economy that's sometimes hard to come by. But yeah, I don't know how many people actually know on much of what they've been doing for it, but they have been able to raise... Alright. They have been able to raise $40 million in this new game, and it was specified that the funding was for game only, not a stake in the company. And which, one other thing I did not know was, like, CCP, who owns EVE Online, is owned by, what was it again? Polar Abyss, I believe. Yeah, or no, Pearl Abyss. I don't know what I said before. Pearl Abyss, who also has Black Desert. But the game will be set inside the EVE universe somehow. I'm not sure how. They've talked about NFTs. They don't know how to they might have an idea on how to implement it. They said it would probably be next year before more details. And there's a couple, I don't know if they're hedge funds, crypto funds, a couple names out there. Some of them in the article had stated that they worked with them prior, or like
drive
were actually
active.
prior employees of CCP, which is, I think it would be nice. You hear of an old company trying to expand into something new, and so maybe they actually are they're hopeful of the future of this company. But yeah, I'm not, like I said,
Warp
there's a
drive
lot of
active.
stuff that would you, you can still have a. It's going to be interesting just to see how they develop the game. But if they struggle to have like an outside demand uh, for the token, I cannot see much value outside of it, really. Plus, they will need a
Warp drive
a
active.
blockchain that is uh, able to support however many transactions are going on, which I don't know how many transactions would go, but it's like, well, how do you have a blockchain that can support something roughly the size of a stock market, like a miniature stock market? It's like, well,
Docking permission requested.
to be honest,
Docking request accepted.
to the few blockchains that I know of, it's hard to tell sometimes. Let's see, complete this. Alright, now what do we do? For a career in business, you will need to basic understanding of crucial processes. Or processing along with. Yep. For your new venture, fit it with a mining laser and turret weapons. For any approach might attack you and head to a certain coordinates where you'll mine. Okay. So I need to get into my. Yeah, I know. Ship hangar, venture, assemble, make active. Do I? Yes, I know. And that. Mining laser 1, mining laser. Which means I need to. Not personal assets, inventory. Can. Strip fitting. Yes. I'm glad I can do that on this. So, civilian Gatling, I cannot put on the afterburner, so that kind of stinks. But this is about the basic I usually get. Oh.
Warp drive active.
Do you guys have any blockchain? What's your favorite blockchain, and then what would be your preference on what could support something that could support the transaction volume for a game like this? We don't know how big it's going to be, but it's definitely going to be interesting. I don't like how that's there. Oh, mining. How far to... 10. I'm just not entirely sure what can actually be a good blockchain. About my... Jesus. I was just trying to watch this. What would be the best? I know it's, honestly, it's not necessarily a blockchain, but about the only thing I ever hear that could support it, maybe. I don't know, I guess for me it would probably be Hedera Hashgraph. What you say? Complete your mission, you can head back to Angel whenever you're ready. Okay. Nope. What? How? A peaceful... This is not a peaceful after they're shooting me. Aggression against this peaceful entity may have consequences such as... Oh. That. Duh. Gotta realize what I'm shooting at. But yeah, it would help if I knew what I was shooting sometimes. 5,000 units of Veldspar. Oh, this is always the... I remember this is always kind of the boring part on EVE Online, but with friends or having some music or something can help pass the time. I think one of my things, if I did do this, would be I'd be playing podcasts. I have a lot of podcasts. I have some on mostly about finance or web development. But I am not a web developer at the moment, but I am trying to learn it on my own. I know that there's like layoffs in the tech industry, but I do think some of it is people who have theories on how stuff works, but not all of them. Like there's probably a small percentage that like do not have good enough experience or proof. It's just they have a they just have a degree. A degree can get you, will definitely get your foot farther in the door than normal, but the main aspect that they would like to see probably is that you can actually do what you say you can. I've heard of some people not being able to what's that? Some people not knowing like how to actually work or how to actually do stuff like that. More scrap. Let's try to. Let's do this. No, don't care. From here, let's see. I'll kind of speed this up.
void is depleted.
And welcome back. That was not a completely full asteroid, but geez, 40,000. Or I didn't get my whole.
Drive active.
I didn't get my whole cargo hold full, but we definitely got quite a bit. And it's quite nice, kind of actually seeing that you do move through the systems. Oh, ooh, someone's got a skull. I think there's a
Docking
bounty
permission
on them.
requested. Docking request accepted.
Alright. The processing plant window. Mining hold. Reprocess. To item hanger. Alright. Finish, acquired, mine the ore from it, and reprocess. Granted a new miner and the book on reprocessing. Alright guys, I'm gonna end it there. It's been a long episode for me. Mining does feel monotonous, so it'd be best to find something to fill the void in some way. Either chat with a group, maybe have a book, podcast, something. That's something better to do while you're mining. But I will see you guys in the next one.